Motherfuckers is going in.
Stop the world, let me off. I don't like this destination. I like a transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide into the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. Stop the world. A music podcast for the culture. Wild, wild thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wild Thoughts. We took a break, but we are back. Good to see everybody. My co-host Rex, V-Ray, Mars Blackman, the Mad Rapper. Tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why you mad. Is in the building. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Let me go to the comments and tag my cousin because he said cuss me out if I don't tag him and let him know when we on. Let me go tag him real quick. But
told y'all to tell me when y'all on it.
Exactly. That's the least I could do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about. What's up, Ron? Ron always in the building, of course. Let me tag Willie. Got to tag Shannon and Stephanie for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to make sure we tag them when we start the show? Let me know. But these are people that I know always be ready to tap in. So, Oh, Shannon already here, of course. What's happening?
That one motherfucker is always on time and shit.
Yeah. Shannon be late.
Nigga, y'all late.
I've been here since 4:30. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, Shannon always here. Shannon and Ron be on top of it. They be ready. But hey man, we got a lot to talk about, man. First of all, shout out to everybody and prayers up to everybody who's still been dealing with these LA fires. It's been ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But the rain, I think the rain finally helped. You know what I'm saying? Try to get some of this stuff under control, but I still want to send prayers and all that to everybody. Shannon said, I keep refreshing my page. After she be ready, like, boom, 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 boom.
Y'all niggas late.
If it takes too long, she be in my inbox like, niggas, you're late.
You're late.
You're late, niggas. But I appreciate it, man, for real, because people like Shannon and Ron and Steph, people like y'all who make this worth it, man, who make us want to do this every week. So yesterday, I guess we'll start with this. No, you know what? Let's start with some music. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into the heavy stuff, let's start with a little bit of music. I have a question for y'all. Because as I listen to this Kendrick album more and more, I actually I liked it when it first came out. I fucking love this album now.
Has your favorite song changed?
Yes. The record with him and SZA, classic. Feel like old school slow dancing music. What up, Jim McElroy, my guy? What up, Jim? Hey, I love that song now. Like when I hear it, that song gives me nostalgia. It feels like it should have been on the Wood soundtrack. You know what I mean? Probably because he danced to Luther on there, but the way they did it, you know what I'm saying? Because you could always sample something, but the way they did it, I feel like they captured a feeling on that. Hey, that's another good one, Ron. Hey now, say now. That one grew like because that wasn't one of my favorites when I listened to the record, right? But now, like, hey, it's like so many records because the big records like Squabble Up, Turn TV Off, yeah, like those were like immediate. But then as you listen to the album, I think that happened to me with the album Damn too, though. Like Damn when it first came out, I actually didn't even like Damn that much when Damn dropped. Then when I went back and listened to like Duckworth and records like that, I'm like, oh no, this is good. This is really good. And that's how I feel about like some of the other records on the album, like the ones that you would deem album cuts are cuts. You know what I mean? But it's such a deep album. Shannon said GNX is her joint. And look, I can't argue with none of it. If y'all name any song off that album, I'm not gonna argue any of it. I just feel like it grew on me, and I just wanted to ask y'all: was I the only one that this album grew on a little more than it did when it first dropped, or y'all was there already? I know Rob was there already.
I was already there, been there.
Well, let me ask you, Rex: has your favorite song changed?
No, I loved everything. Even from everything. Morals, the whacked out more, all that, bro. Oh man, he just to me, honestly, he did his homework. Like I said, he did his job. Man, look, he did what he was supposed to do.
All right, let me ask you this question. Remix it like how Dave said. Is there any song on there that you weren't listening to heavy that you are now listening to a little bit more?
No, the whole album. I'm telling you, man.
He like, be clear. I was already there.
I was already there, brother. I'm telling you, love the whole from front to back. I'll play the whole thing for real. Yeah, I know. Been there.
Gotcha. I think for me, my favorite since I heard the album has been the Heart Part 6, and it's still the Heart Part 6.
Okay.
The reason why is because I finally got my explanation as to why there wasn't a Black Hippie album, and I can't be mad at the reasoning.
So you feel like you got some answers that you didn't have.
What was your question?
No, I was always wondering why we never got a Black Hippie album.
A Black Hippie album. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What about you, V-Ray? Because I know, the last conversation we had, you were like, man, I don't know about this shit. I'm listening to it, but
no, nigga.
I still listen to Drake on the go.
There wasn't a no skip album for me. There was about 5 joints that I was feeling. I'm still feeling a lot of. I haven't really honestly been revisiting the album to be honest and stuff, man. But I still like the same joints. Whacked Out Murals, Squabble Up still goes. The one Dame was talking about, Luther, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I like both of the Scissor joints, but you know what I'm saying. It's a everybody's taste is different. You know what I'm saying, and obviously even from this conversation, everybody's migrating to kind of different joints on there and stuff. So the only problem that I had was like I said, the sound. Some of the production sounded repetitive. You know what I'm saying,
right.
But. Other than that, I mean, the dude's a genius, so there's no discounting that part of it. And the only other thing I'd say about it that I said before was that I thought he outwrote the production.
You know what? I kind of agree with that too. I kind of agree with that in the sense that I think because he wrote so well, V, and he wrote the song so well, I think it saved some of those tracks that weren't probably gonna feel like that if somebody else was on it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually don't disagree with you there. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Shannon said she was already there. Ron said, what's crazy is To Pimp a Butterfly was my favorite until I watched the breakdown on Good Kid, Mad City, which is a masterpiece. Good Kid, Mad City is a flawless album to me. I can't wait to see him and SZA perform at the Super Bowl. Same here. I'm saving cans to spend $1,000 for floor seats at SoFi. Yeah, man. It's you know, like I said.
Cans,
so okay, I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Do y'all think Tyler is gonna be at the Super Bowl?
I believe so.
I think he might. I think because I feel like he's gonna do something very LA.
Did y'all see did y'all catch like the marching
name?
Yeah. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
So,
I think
yeah,
Tyler might come on. I think he's gonna surprise us. I think he's gonna do a very LA Super Bowl show in New Orleans.
I would say this: if Tyler does join that performance, I don't think anyone will be able to outdo a Super Bowl performance like him.
Yeah, because Tyler's a hell of a performer too, and his concept,
Yeah.
his stage concepts are crazy. It's a question for V Ray. V Ray, Shannon said, "Can you give an example of a song where he outwrote the production?"
You know, like I said, I haven't listened to it again in a while. To me, I'm not like super crazy about TV Off from that production standpoint that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I have to. I mean, that was my first impression listen, so I'd have to listen to it again to give names. But I'd be happy to give an example. But that's one that came to mind was TV Off. But I think I kind of felt some kind of way about that because the production was reminiscent of the Mustard style, you know, so heavily.
Yeah. It almost, when it first came out, it felt like it could have been a Not Like Us knockoff.
Yeah.
But when it switched to that second part, Mustard, I feel like it gives it a different tenor and a different energy. You know what I mean? Like, I think the beginning, boom, 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 it's not enough, boom. But I feel like that felt very like, oh, this could be like they was trying to recapture that Not Like Us feel. But then when it switches to the dun 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 dun, I think that gave it another energy.
Yeah.
And just yelling Mustard, he made it another one of those things that just jumped into the zeitgeist immediately.
All right, now that I definitely agree with. I don't know. He's such a lyricist, man, that you know, I guess I assign a high bar to the tracks that should grace the shit that this nigga is putting out. So that's, I mean, it's just a personal preference. I mean, I definitely love Kendrick Lamar's whole catalog, including this album. I just think if I had to rate them, I don't know if this would be like, I don't know if it would rank toward the top.
Okay,
in my opinion.
But listen, and I'm gonna say this to that. I can't even be mad at that because it's not like he's put out a bad album yet.
No, he's never had a bad record.
It's not. He hasn't had like. I think it's literally all subjective with him and everybody's order, everybody's favorite song, because it depends on your mood.
Right.
If the Pepper Butterfly is your favorite album that day, or Good Kid, or the Damn album, or you know what I'm saying, or GNX. Like, but what I do want to say is, I mean, and we forgot we even talked about
Mr. Morale,
and the Big Step. You know what I mean? So it's like he's put out so many great bodies of work that
Section 80 was hard too.
Said, such versatility because every album is him, but different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like none of those albums can be like this is the. You can tell he's in a different place in his life in all those albums for one. But then the next thing is those albums are going to stand in their own place because every album is not like he was chasing what everybody else was doing. He was leading the pack. You know what I mean? Like he was, because I don't think there's another album that sounds like Good Kid, Mad City. In my opinion, there's nothing. But then there's nothing that sounds like Mr. Morale, or even you give him the songs from the Black Panther soundtrack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ron said I have to listen to his music multiple times to really grasp the depth of his lyrics. Yeah, like, and that's the other thing. He one of the only MCs that give you homework, and you ain't mad.
It's a very cerebral writer.
He's such a cerebral. Like he gives you homework. I'm trying to think of who was the last rapper that made me feel like that. Where it's like, Cannabis. When I used to hear Cannabis verses back in the day, I used to be like, Eminem. Like they're like, because Eminem has. I've seen Eminem fold different meanings and entendres and words. I'm like, how the hell did he even put that together to mean that the way, you know?
And that's my favorite rapper. So
yeah,
that nigga he'd say any and everything, but people just take it like I don't know. People just don't like the nigga for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
Andre 3000. Yeah, the Andre 3000. The same. He gives you homework because you listen to something on face value, it sounds like one thing, and then when you go back, you like, oh damn, it's really layers to this. Like this meant this, you know, and then you find out other stuff that meant other things to his life, and I think those are like. You know, to me, those are the things that last and live in their own place. Just like you listen to She Lives in My Lap Today, that record don't feel out of place because it don't feel like it was trying to be nothing. You know, some records will feel dated, is what I'm saying. But
I'm gonna tell you a little known fact.
Huh?
I'm gonna let you know a little known fact. The Good Kid, Mad City is actually a part two. The part one is YG's album, My Crazy Life, because you remember there's a song where YG and Kendrick, and I forgot they're in the song. So they're literally My Crazy Life is YG's perspective from getting out the car, and Good Kid, Mad City is Kendrick's perspective after getting out the car.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go listen to the records back to back.
Okay, cool. Okay, bet.
All right. Shannon said Mustard said those were two different beats that he sent Kendrick. He didn't know they were put together until they heard it. Well, that goes to V-Ray's point, right? Of him outwriting the production, because them wasn't even supposed to be together. Like that goes to his point. Like he put that together and made it what it was. Because like I said, it probably wouldn't have felt like that if it would have just been one song on that one beat and one song on the other beat. But how he knew how to put those two together and make that feeling of that song, that's pretty dope. Ron said, I just listened to Mr. Morale this morning. Jim said they have plenty of seats who give you homework, but it's the presentation of the content that captures the audience. Yeah, and Jim, I think Eminem has this really well, and I know, like you said, Rex, a lot of people don't want to give him his props, but Eminem has this really well. Busta Rhymes and Kendrick they can be cerebral over a radio record. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
They can give you like a super in-depth verse that's really saying something over a jam. You know, like I was literally just talking to Rex about Scenario. You listen to what Busta was saying on that Scenario remix, he was killing it. Like he was killing it.
I was just listening to that shit last night.
Yeah, don't leave Redman off that list. You right, Jim. I ain't mad at having Redman off there.
Redman
Red and Method. They Method Man.
Muddy Waters. Oh my god.
It's dope as Killer Mike, man. If you listen to
it,
yes.
Animal, man.
Hey, Animal. I like the song with him and 3000 Scientists. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. When you talk about layers on every verse on there.
And the storytelling. If you listen to what's the Slumber? Have you heard that? That motherfucker's hard. I mean, this is just a story rap, but the way he weaves it, man, it's kind of, to me, reminiscent of Big's style of, you know, telling those stories and having you picture what the story is, and the production on that joint. To me, is dope.
Yeah. And to your point, Jim,
Slumber.
He said,
yeah, Slumber is the name of it.
Jim, Redman to me is one of the most consistent rappers of all time.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my top fours.
Like Redman is so consistent. Like,
what's one of your top four?
Redman's among my top four.
Oh yeah,
like Redman is such a consistent rapper. Like I see him doing like freestyles now, and I'm like, a lot of people can't touch him still. Nope. Like when he gets on the mic, first of all, his presence. I was watching again, you know, sometimes you just go down a rabbit hole when you want to hear some good music. I listened to him just doing the hook and doing his verse on the Ooh Ooh record with De La Soul. Jesus Christ. Killed that record. Killed that record. Like, I'm like, hey man, like Redman had a moment, but again, like I said, he just been so consistent. But like I said that to say though, I think Kendrick is kind of picking up that baton of the DNA of the Redman, the Eminem, the Andre 3000. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's kind of picking up that mantle that we haven't had in a long time that feels like that, because his records feel like our records used to feel, just to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why he's captured our age group more than Drake has.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think Kendrick has captured our age group. This feels familiar. I know what this is. I know what this feels like. Like what he's doing, I understand what this is. Right. Drake, even though Drake had jams, you know, because I know people trying to rewrite history like ain't nobody ever like no Drake joints. But Drake had joints and jams, but Drake never made me feel the way I feel when I listen to the Good Kid, Mad City. Now, that could be because I'm from the West Coast and I identify with his music in a different way. But from what I'm seeing from even the people...
Are you running something now?
For me? What's going on, V? Oh, Stephanie says Scarface ain't bad either. Scarface is a beast. I think Scarface is underrated. You know, I think Scarface is right up there with Ice Cube in regards to storytelling and in regards to like what he did for gangster rap, really, because they were like the NWA of Texas when Ghetto Boys came out. Like they were saying all the raunchy stuff, you know what I mean, and doing all the crazy stuff. So,
Well, to add on to what you're saying, Dave, I think also when you're comparing both Kendrick and Drake, I think Kendrick had shown himself to actually be a student of the game. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Student of the game. At the same time, Kendrick loves rap music. Drake, in my opinion, has never been a rapper. He's always, to me, been an R&B singer.
Well, we're gonna talk about that next, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I'm gonna say no because you got to think when Drake first came out, when he did the Sprite commercial, the joint with LeBron, it's over. Like I like that Drake too. When he first came out with those records, I thought he was a dope rapper. I really did. I think after he got into his R&B,
So we have technical difficulties.
I'm not over here. Are y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Is Dame froze?
Not over here.
Oh, you got that Elon Musk internet, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing y'all, but not him.
You know who else gave crazy homework was Keith Murray.
He's talking and everything.
Let me tell you something, Jim. For our live shows,
leave out and come back in, V.
Yeah, for our shows, sometimes
we have me backstage for like 20 minutes and shit.
No, I'm gonna pull you right back in.
He said he gonna pull you right back in.
Yeah, Keith Murray, bro. Sometimes we'll pull out when we do our live show, Jim. We'll do the most beautifulest thing in the world. So I had to learn those verses, and I was like, "What? What? What?" Every time I was like, learning the verse and listening to what he was actually saying. Keith Murray, first of all, he had a crazy vocabulary and knew how to use it.
Yeah,
that was first, and then second, just his flow and his command of the cadences on his beats. Him and Eric Sermon was like a match made in heaven.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Him and Eric Sermon was like perfection. Stephanie said the difference between Kendrick and Drake is one is a lyricist and the other is a show rapper. That's true, Steph. But like I said, if y'all go back and listen to Drake's early stuff, Drake actually had some dope like rap records early on. He turned into a pop star, and I think now people remember him more as a pop star than they did for the beginning, which is understandable because he had a bunch of pop hits. He had like maybe a 10-year run of pop hits, but I don't know, Marge. You shaking your head no, but you go back and listen to Drake and Lil Wayne on Maybe She Will. They had like
him and Wayne was rap.
They had him and Wayne had a run when I was because I was in clubs at that time too. Heavy. I was DJing every weekend. He had a run. I can't take that away from him.
I will admit that I listened to the first album, and I did enjoy the first album, but it was very hard for me to listen to his lyrical style because it just didn't appeal to me.
Okay. Ron said Views was my shit. Yeah, there's like a few albums that Shannon has entered the chat. Are you sure he wrote those raps?
No, he
didn't. Shit.
Well, write him or not, just his what he was bringing to the table at that time was undeniably dope. I mean, some of it, not all of it, but he had some winners in there. I dug the feature he did on Nicki Minaj joint.
She probably wrote that.
She probably wrote that shit.
Huh?
She probably wrote that shit.
I'm just saying that the catchy shit and some of the verse and shit. I mean,
Nicki
who knows?
Said, here, Drake, say this.
He had a minute. He had a minute before he became ostracized the way he is now.
Right.
Now he can't say fucking Dr. Seuss rhymes and get without getting slaughtered. He didn't write that shit.
He didn't write that shit.
Dr. Seuss.
Say it like this or say it like that.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
Got too many accents.
So I want to play something for y'all in our audience watching, and I want to get y'all opinion. There's a good friend of mine, Ray Daniels. He has a great podcast too called The Gods Podcast, and this is off of All Deaf Music's podcast. But I want to play this for y'all, and y'all tell me if y'all agree or disagree with this assessment of Drake, because I know Shannon wants to talk about that.
I think Drake.
Everybody.
No, hear me out. I think on the path he's going, he's done. If he drops the suit, gets back to music, it's going to be all right. But I think that he's so hurt of what we did to him. Y'all playing not like us. Y'all really gonna play Euphoria? Yes, nigga. Let's go. like that when we played your shit when you were saying the Marvin's Room. You was this. Well, I'm just saying you could do better. It was hating on the record. We still was bumping this shit, bro. If it works for you, you can't get mad when it doesn't. That's bitch shit. If the ball didn't go your way this day, that's okay. Tomorrow you come back and play another day. But to complain about it all week, nigga, you know we done played 4 games. You still talking about game 4? You still complaining? Meanwhile, this nigga done dropped the whole album. Got the box, got the West, got the, and he gonna come to your city.
Do you think that this brings about a better Drake?
I think Drake is done. I think Drake.
Everybody.
No, hear me out. I think on the path he's going, he's done. If he
that's
and let me tell you what. I'm saying this on record. Drake, his crew, when Kendrick comes to y'all city, and by the way, shout out to QCP, because P, he the one that made me see this one day. If Kendrick come to y'all city, make it good on him. Let me tell you why. Because he never has to come back to Toronto again. But nigga, y'all all gotta come to LA.
That's
and let me tell you what. I'm saying this on record.
What's up, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you keep crying like a bitch, yeah, he is. Oh, like, stupid ass nigga.
You ain't said no lies there.
Yeah, no lie. You keep crying like a little bitch, ain't nobody gonna fuck with him. Keep crying,
I
nigga.
mean-
We already can't listen to your music now because you already crying, nigga. Come on now, bro. Like, just come out with a hit. That's it, nigga. Make us dance again and quit crying, hoe ass nigga.
I think because I know in regards to him saying Drake is done if he continues down this path, I agree with that. Like how he said, if he continues down this, I'm going to sue. If he continues down this Lawbury Graham, Karen vibes, I think he's going to be in trouble because you're going to be cooked. Oh, Shannon just said it, Drake is cooked.
Dame, but the thing about it is that when people show you who they are, you have to believe them. Because this is the same individual that has been now reported when he was on that Degrassi show, whatnot. He literally wanted to do a lawsuit for them to get that character out of a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So this is
Yeah.
not new for him.
No, this is who he's always been. I mean, you listen to his interviews now, the Paul Rosenberg interview. He himself has said he grew up in a Jewish household.
Well, yeah. Like I know he didn't grow up in the hood, and he could have got past all that if not for this behavior. But I think the biggest mistake to me he's making is he's literally proven everything that Kendrick said true and correct.
Right.
Like he's like making it a spotlight on everything he said about him being not of the not of the culture for real. Everything he said about him not being a real nigga, like he's making all of that. He's putting a spotlight on how true that is. Stephanie said, I totally agree. People perform in Canada, but they're not performing in droves like that over there. But people are coming over here every day. I think that's the truest thing he said. Y'all better make sure them niggas is good in Canada because y'all got to come to LA. This ain't a market you can skip. They could skip Canada. They could never go to Canada and be good.
Mm-hmm.
But Drake, if you ever do a tour, you got to come to California. You got to come to LA. So don't be out there in Canada trying to make it hard for them, trying to get them jump when they tour, because y'all gonna have a real tough time if you got to come to LA. Ron said Drake is Ja Rule.
No, just for Ja Rule.
That's a good analogy.
It's starting to feel like that. It's starting to feel like when 50 buried Ja, because he buried Ja. Because just like Drake at the time, remember, Ja Rule was the guy with all the records for the ladies. He was in the club. He even had a record with Jay-Z at the time. And after that, you couldn't get touched after 50 Cent was done with him. And that's what it looked like now. Like Drake was the number one guy, and Kendrick came and buried him,
Mhm.
and he made all the wrong moves.
But Dame,
But-
does it change your view of Ja Rule when you learn that behind the scenes 50 had lawsuits on top of the stuff in which he was dealing with the federal investigation from Murder Inc.?
No, it don't, because as hip hoppers, we know this come down to records.
Right, but he couldn't release anything.
But he was. Remember, you forgot he was released on them terrible. His joints just wasn't hidden.
No,
He was releasing joints.
no.
Remember that
at the
he
time
went
it
after
was-
Eminem, which was the last thing when Eminem
Terrible.
finally came back with the record. He went after Eminem on that last record, and that's what really ended him when they jumped on the "I smell pussy." Is that you, Ja? When they came back with that, that was it, bro. That was it. So it wasn't about nothing else except his records didn't hit back the same way like Drake. Like Ron said, Drake is a great character played by Aubrey.
Well, the difference with Ja Rule is that he eventually got the hint and went and sat the fuck down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Stephanie said the perfect example of dishing it out but can't take it. Things are great when it's working, but when it's not, he's the victim. Yeah, because like all the stuff that you feel like Kendrick did to you, you was trying to do to Pusha T. And it was all gravy then. It was all above board.
No, look, it was all cool when he was doing this shit to me. It's cool when he do it. You a bitch, bro.
Shannon said Curtis King did a good piece on Ja Rule. Justice for Ja Rule. And you know what? Another thing that hurt Ja Rule at that time is the Dave Chappelle joke.
Can't remember that.
So
You don't
there
remember
was a
that?
joke where he was like, I think they were talking about 9/11,
Yeah.
and they say here to talk about 9/11, we gonna go to Ja Rule. And he said, "Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this? Why are you talking to Ja Rule about 9/11?"
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Oh shit, that's fucked up.
Yeah, so I think like that all happened kind of like, you know, when Biggie talked about Kwame in the polka dots.
So let me ask you guys this then. In lieu of what we're anticipating for the Super Bowl, what do you think Aubrey does that same day for his Australian performance? Damn, you muted.
I said, say that again.
So, what do you think will happen now? Or what's your speculations? Immediately after Kendrick's performance, because that same day Drake is supposed to be performing.
Really, he supposed to be performing the same day as Super Bowl?
Either earlier or later, because he's on Australia. He has that tour date.
Okay.
Do you think he has a meltdown?
No, I don't think he has a meltdown. I think the Super Bowl is going to be the thing that solidifies Kendrick as the king, right? Like we already like he's already there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Super Bowl, if he does the performance right, let me preface it with that. If he does the Super Bowl performance right, I think that will be the thing to solidify Kendrick as the top of the top. And also is going to solidify the end of an era. I'm not saying the end of Drake's career,
Right.
but the end of an era of Drake as that guy.
So let me ask you this. What do you think happens if he tries to turn, I'm saying Aubrey, if he tries to downplay Kendrick's performance and turns his own performance into a pity pat? And
Well, I think that's what he's going to do, first of all. I think he's going to try to make it a pity party for himself, which is going to be a bad look. I think that's what he's going to try to do. But it's hard for me to predict because Drake has made every wrong move through this whole thing. Every move we said he probably should take, he's done the opposite.
The opposite.
So it's hard for me to predict what he'll do after this Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl, first of all, it don't get no bigger than that. That's first. It don't get no bigger than that. And I would say, again, like V Ray said, after the Super Bowl, just go away for a little bit, Drake.
He shouldn't even do a show the same day. That's going to be an instant side by side comparison.
Yeah,
You know,
even
why
if it
set
wasn't
yourself
on
up
purpose.
like that? Why even do it? Even in Australia, you know
Hey,
what I
Drake.
mean? Somebody gonna try to fuck with it. They're probably gonna have a Super Bowl on at the concert or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they said that apparently for his concert, he's made it a mandatory that people cannot show up wearing any type of Kendrick paraphernalia.
Are you serious?
See, but that's already some bitch shit right
All
there.
right,
You know what I'm
you a
saying?
hoe, nigga. You a hoe.
Yeah. So par for the course these days, I suppose.
Well, what I will
Oh.
say, this is what I do predict. I
A
think
minor.
Kendrick is gonna do such a small piece of Not Like Us that everybody gonna be surprised.
Well, here's the thing. I think I'll go even further. I think he just do certain choruses and lets the audience sing it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's even gonna do a whole bunch of Not Like Us. I think he's gonna do so many other records, and because I think the way Kendrick is, I think he like, I don't even want to make this moment about Drake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Make
Like,
it about LA and what he's standing up for.
But you are talking to one of the most pettiest MCs on
that's
the
true. That's true. That's true. Stephanie said if he whines and complains at his show in Australia, he's going to show and prove that he really does not belong. I think he show and prove that as soon as he filed a lawsuit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't ever be like, I lost the battle, I'm filing a lawsuit. That is the most Karen behavior ever. That is the most Karen behavior ever. Like, I lost the battle, so I'm filing a lawsuit. Nah, dog. That's not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not hip hop
You
at
making
all.
the game, especially these with the new rappers coming out. That's how you doing it.
Well, you make the game look bad, and then you make all your fans who be caping for you, all these grown men who like, yeah, he doing what he got to do. Like, y'all look terrible, dog.
The niggas that's
Y'all
backing
look
him
terrible.
up,
There
y'all
is
look
no excuse
stupid.
for him to file a lawsuit for this. Period.
Crazy. Son.
No excuse for that. No excuse. So it make him and all of his little fans look like kind of like weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all look like little bitches.
Shannon said, I'm down with the petty. Let's go, Kung Fu Kenny. Hey, he is probably the pettiest nigga alive. So he might do something to put the spotlight on Drake. Like, I don't know, put him up on a big screen or something. Like, like there's gonna be a piece of petty there. Stephanie said, I agree. To us, it's already been proven, but the people who still try to defend him should see it. If they don't, it's because they don't want to. Oh yeah, that's why I said I think the Super Bowl, depending on how he does it, the Super Bowl could be that thing that's just like, it's over. It's over. You know what I mean? Like, it could be this moment. Donald said, notice he didn't sue Kendrick directly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you've been a strategic biatch. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, like, even if he, let's say he tried to sue Kendrick after the shit in which he pulled.
Oh, that's a good question, Jim. Jim said, but will the NFL allow him to be petty? That's because, you know, we talking about corporations and we talking about billions, not millions, billions of dollars. So I don't know, because
I think they would.
If they catch it.
Because that's one, if they catch it, and two, the Drain Snoop got away with a lot for it to
Catch
be
it on Monday ain't shit.
But this is a unique situation in which the audience is clamoring for this song.
Yeah. But yeah, because you know what's funny? We had this talk when Not Like Us first dropped, and we were like, I wonder if this momentum will last until February. Remember we said that?
And it lasts for a long time.
And he did a great job of pushing this momentum all the way up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we were like, I don't know, Not Like Us is hot right now, but he got to put out. We said he got to put out another record. He got to put out something to push this momentum all the way to February. I think they will. Jim, yes, they will. Mark Lamont Hill says they're giving him free reign. They say that, Shannon, but I don't never believe that about a corporation.
Yeah. Then the titty pop out, motherfuckers is mad and shit.
Well, I think as long as he doesn't say the word pedophile, I think he'll be.
should be good.
Yeah. That's why I say I think he's gonna find a way around those things that we probably would deem, you know, uncouth. But he's so smart and so petty, which is a bad combination, You know what I'm saying? He might do something that we won't figure out till a week later, like fucking the usual suspects. Like,
Have a light skinned dude with a beard up on stage and shit.
and in all honesty, Stephanie said, in all honesty, the popularity and the scandal behind Not Like Us 9 times out of 10 what prompted him to get that Super Bowl spot. Exactly. Snoop, they told Snoop not to crip walk or throw up gang signs, and he did it anyway. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't tell a nigga he got free reign and then put him on live TV.
Yeah, what you gotta do, go to cut the commercial.
Can't cut the commercial. Go to commercial something. Can't cut the commercial. You know what I'm saying?
$2 million a pop.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be interesting, and I'm looking forward to the conversation about this again after the Super Bowl. Who's gonna be in the Super Bowl? Do we have a Super Bowl matchup now?
Yeah, we got
Philadelphia and Kansas
Oh,
City.
Philadelphia and Kansas City. Who y'all got? I know V-Ray got Kansas City because he's Kansas City boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also Mahomes is he's a robot, dog.
Yeah. They hating on him hard right now, though, bro.
he's chasing history.
Oh, Jim said he got the Eagles. Who you got? Who you got, Rob?
That's a tough one.
I like both teams, 2 black quarterbacks.
Honestly,
Saquon
I
Barkley.
do
Two and Philly is a really good story because them guys been together for a while. You know what I mean? I feel like you know how sometimes it's a team you just feel like it's their time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's their time. I feel like Philly is their time. Like the boys been together. They added Saquon, who is a robot himself.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good matchup for sure. I hope. You know, Eagles are my team. I always have them. We need our lick back from 2 seasons ago.
I really, though, honestly would have loved to have seen Lamar go to the Super Bowl with the season that he's had.
Yeah, me too.
The cherry on top.
It just always feels like they like a player away. It always feels like the Ravens are like 1 player away. Also, that dude who dropped them passes.
Yeah, Mark Andrews, fuck you.
Bruh. He gave them 2 chances to lose. Jim said, I agree.
Small shit. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement.
Jim, did you play for Philly for a little
Drop
bit?
that pass. You'll never see your mama again.
I'm trying to remember. Jim, did you play for Philly? I don't remember. I think did you play for Philly for a little bit? I think Jim played for Philly for a little bit. But all right, so I got something else I want to play too. Looking forward to talking about the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl. I know it's gonna be a lot of stuff, junk talking. Oh, that's right, you played for. I knew you played for Chicago. He played for Chicago and Frisco. Yeah, I knew you played for Chicago. All right, so this is something else I wanted to show y'all, and we discuss because let's see.
I'm having technical difficulties over here. That's what.
All right, here we go.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number 1 recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number 1 recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number 2 are Asian Americans. Number 3 are Native Americans. Number 4, individuals with disability. Number 5, veterans. Okay. And number 6, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs. The real F around and find out moment is here.
So
That's interesting.
interesting statistics, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good point, Jim. Jim says it shows that even with DEI in place, we're being discriminated against.
Yeah.
I always knew that white women were the number one benefactors. I didn't know that we were that low on the list. Like, I didn't know that all those people came before us, but all those people are now finding out. And now, you know, this administration, they some hoes. I done called a stray from this administration already. I had signed I had signed a contract for a year with something that was federally funded, and I was supposed to get paid, and it was frozen because he froze all the federal funds and grants. Yeah, man. So I'm catching strays already from you bastards who voted for Tangerine Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, how am I catching strays already? But not only that, now I know all the other people catching strays, like the people from Meals on Wheels, like the vulnerable people, like really the vulnerable, you know, part of our country. And I want to ask y'all, have y'all Trump supporter friends been as quiet as mine?
Yep.
Yep.
I haven't heard shit from him. I'm still trying to
Have they
figure out
been
what the fuck
quiet?
that
You know, all the ones who said he wasn't doing Project 2025, and all those who said he wasn't gonna do nothing against black people. Are they as quiet on your timeline or talking to you as they was during the election?
It's interesting. They've been quiet, but they've also been evasive as far as speaking on politics. You know, it's like, oh, did you hear about such and such? Well, you know, there's a reason behind such and such. We can circle back to this. And I was like, okay.
They work on Fig for sure. You right, Jim. Stephanie says, so silent you could hear a rat piss on cotton. They are only communicating with themselves. I still can't believe that people actually believed. Hey, I saw that, Jim. He said one challenged me to a fight, but they are loving their figurative victory. I saw that, Jim. I'm about to post all my friends. Your silence is speaking volumes. Listen, man. Listen, I don't even want to talk about them as much as I want to talk about the people who voted for him who are already being affected. For example, one of my people's work with some dreamers. You know, the dreamers are the people who basically kind of got like asylum for being immigrants, right?
Yeah, the students.
And yeah, the students, right? So Trump is like, oh, I'm deporting y'all too. Like that dreamer shit is over. And they was like, oh, I didn't know he was gonna come for us. Like he told y'all, like, why did y'all think y'all was gonna be exempt? And the reason they gave for not wanting to vote for Kamala, because they were like, they felt like she was doing too much stuff for black people. And I wanted to bring that specific point up of doing too much stuff for black people because they voted against their own self-interest just for us to not have more. They rather vote against it. But the crazy thing is, I hear you, Donald. Donald said, ain't heard a peep. The crazy thing is, Shannon, me too. I see a lot of crying Latinos who voted for him. I was just about to say, like the crazy thing is, anytime black people get something, as the young lady just showed us, everybody benefits. Like if you go all the way back to the Civil Rights Act, because a lot of people don't know. Because I remember people was getting upset. Like there's an Asian crime bill, and there's not a crime bill for black people. Remember that whole era. What they didn't know was that executive order, because most executive orders have to be based on laws that are already in place, right?
Mhm.
That executive order was based on the 1965 Civil Rights Bill. So many things for the LGBTQ, so many things for Latinos and Asians have all been based on the Black civil rights. So a lot of those new executive orders and those new laws were drafted based off of the civil rights laws in 1965, but they don't understand that.
Right.
So most of the progress in this country that has happened for minorities was based on the plight of the Black folks who worked to get the Civil Rights Act passed. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that and don't understand that. You know, but that's like so many, and if y'all want to go check it out for yourself, go check it out. So many laws and executive orders have been drafted based on that.
Right.
And he's now the first president to come in because he stopped all federal investigations of police. So police ain't investigating no dirty cops right now.
Mhm.
He stopped. He took away. He's the first president to touch the Civil Rights Act since 1965 to stop workplace to stop discrimination, stop the workplace from racial discrimination. He took that away. So as much as people think we don't need it, we do need it and did need it. There's no more of those protections. Now people can literally do what they want to do at will, and you can't sue for discrimination, even if it's blatant discrimination because you're, Black, Latino, Asian, gay, trans, whatever.
He'll look you up and down and say nigga and tell you to get out.
Yeah, those protections are gone. Black folks vote for a guy whose right-hand man does Nazi salutes on inauguration day. I'm gonna tell you what's wild down is the Black folks I saw defending it. The Black folks are talking about he doing a Roman salute. First of all, you heard that from some other shit. You ain't never seen him do a Roman salute. You don't even know what a Roman salute is. You ain't did a damn Roman salute. That's first. And second, you put him next to a Nazi doing it. It's the exact same thing. And the funny thing is, their defense of it being a Roman salute is hilarious because the Roman salute is what turned into what?
The Nazi symbol.
It literally turned into the Nazi salute. The Roman salute is the forefather of the Nazi salute.
Yeah, it's like when I saw him do it, like I literally got wrapped up in like, nah, he's not that dumb enough to do it. And I was thinking to myself, nah, he can't be that dumb enough.
It ain't dumb. It's hubris because they know they can't be punished. Think about it. Think about all the stuff they have done. They know their whiteness can't be punished at this point.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stephanie said, what annoys me is that whenever we want to accomplish something and have the audacity to ask others to help us, they leave us hanging in the wind. But then we turn right around and help them. And when they want to help achieve their goals, they don't bother to share any of that to help us get further. That's why I said this year, one thing I hope this election does is bring Black folks together and stop that people of color shit. I don't want to hear that term ever again. And anytime they tell me something that's happening, like how they crying about the Dreamers and all that, all I'm saying is it's above me now. If you see every post of the homies who posting about that, I just posted the meme of the guy saying it's above me now. Stephanie said they stopped Juneteenth, MLK celebrations, Black History Month, and the Holocaust Remembrance Day. Yes, they're trying to make this country as white as possible. Your boy Jamal, exactly, Ron. Jim, the Nazi salute is the Nazi salute. The Third Reich is birthed from the Holy Roman. Exactly, Jim. So that's why I was like, so even when y'all trying to defend it with saying it's the Roman salute, like, do you do understand you saying it's still the Nazi salute? Because that's where it came from. Like the Nazi salute came from the Roman salute. So that's like, I don't know, man. It's I don't even want to get into it. Shannon said, yes, Dame, the Black people defending him is crazy. Most Blacks who voted for him was for economic gains that they would never see. Yeah, and you know, because I know a lot of Black folks have been talking about DEI didn't help us or affect us anyway. Well, I want to explain something really quickly just so y'all can understand how and where it actually affected us the most and why it's going to be a problem moving forward. Do y'all know, can any of y'all tell me what is the biggest way to get wealthy in the country right now? Like, what's the biggest way to get wealthy in this country right now? Or the quickest?
The Bitcoin stuff?
Nope. Anybody else want to try?
Get rich in the country?
Huh?
You said to get rich in the country?
Yeah, to get wealthy. What's the biggest thing that you can do that can happen to get you rich in this country right now?
All of
You said what?
OnlyFans.
I thought that's
I
what you
was about to
said.
say that. OnlyFans.
No. Government contracts.
Damn.
And the last 3 black billionaires were made because of the equity programs that had to include them in government contracts.
Mm.
And guess who's getting all those government contracts now?
Oh,
Elon.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Which is why he was working so hard to stop DEI. Because of DEI, he had to compete with black folks who didn't have as much money as him for government contracts.
Okay.
Since they stripped all of those protections, the biggest place where black folks was getting rich, like black real estate companies, black developers, was from being included in those contracts. Now they don't have to be included in those contracts. So that's why I want to tell people that's important. They say, well, DEI wasn't helping black folks anymore. Like, actually, it was. Because Marion Barry, shout out, I know he get, Marion Barry get held for smoking crack. Marion Barry was the first mayor, and when he was the mayor of DC, to start letting black developers in.
Mm.
And him letting those black developers in opened the door to black billionaires. Jim says selling ass on fake. That show don't make you enough to do nothing. But yeah, so that's why that, like, when I tell you there's a game behind the game, those are the pieces that people are missing. Like, we're not talking about the regular everyday 9-to-5 job. We're talking about the black folks who got those contracts, who are now employing other black folks and helping other black folks rise. Billionaires helping to make more black millionaires because of government contracts. Because that's by far the biggest way to get wealthy quickly in this country outside of real estate right now, with the government contracts. So because all those protections are gone, now black folks not gonna be able to compete. Because the thing, if y'all listen to where people talk about DEI, they think even if you get chosen based on DEI, they feel like you're not qualified. It's not that you're qualified, it's that you get a chance. But they feel like, oh, you only got chosen because you was black. No, I got chosen because I was black and qualified, but didn't get opportunities. Right? So now those opportunities are going to be less and less. Some of those people purposefully missed the depth of the chess moves these people were making to shut us out of wealth. Man, Jim, and I was trying to tell them, he is not for you. He is not for you. And like, I don't know how they got tricked into really believing he is for the little guy. They said his first tax break is going to take all the millionaires and billionaires, like the not high profile, but the higher, not regular millionaires, like the higher, closer to billion millionaires. Those millionaires and billionaires, he's trying to take their taxes down as close to zero as possible. So guess who's going to be paying that?
Us, niggas.
Those little people that you thought he was going to be here for and fighting for. Those government contracts, he made a whole, he made sweeping federal changes so Elon Musk can be in charge of that shit.
That's fucking insane.
He made up a position that didn't even exist.
Yes, and keep watching, because he's going to do the same thing for Robert F. Kennedy. He's going to do the same thing for him. So basically what's about to happen, and y'all remember I said this, they're basically about to loot the federal funds from America.
And take bribes in public.
Yeah, they're about to literally loot federal funding. That's why they was trying to freeze it. Luckily, a Supreme Court judge was like, hell no. But they was trying to freeze it so they could divert it and they can be in control of all of it. What they're trying to do is get it to where he controls all of it and he has to disperse it.
Wow.
Yeah, and hold it for ransom for people that don't support.
Yeah, so that's why he want to stop the Department of Education.
Support the agenda.
Exactly, V-Ray, because he's trying to stop the Department of Education. He said he's going to kill that. So what that means? All those funds are going to be allotted somewhere else. He wants to stop the I forgot the one for health, and put Robert F. Kennedy in charge of that. So he's going to be in charge of. So basically, he's finding ways to put all his homies in charge of the biggest money. Like, it's like a heist right in front of our eyes. It's like,
facts.
You know what I mean? And
It's gonna be the biggest heist in history. If that's not, boy.
The first one is mass in that settlement for 25 million from Meta to Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that today. Like, Trump was like, "Oh, you stopped my accounts. You got to pay me $25 million."
That shit was prearranged, man.
That's what I'm saying. Oligarchy. It's all oligarchy stuff.
That was a payment that Reese branded as a settlement. That, I mean, like the same way that Elon Musk put up all that money to help support his candidacy and shit. These are the payouts. This nigga said out loud, if you put up $1 million for my campaign, I'll make sure that all the legislation blocking your development projects and stuff like that is moved out of the way. You'll get fast tracked to go to market with your shit. That could be medicine. I mean, it's not just manufacturing. That could be, the pharmaceutical shit. Like, shit could be going to market that'll have you sprouting another arm a year from now. You know what I'm saying? If they put up $1 million, for real, they put up $1 million toward this campaign. It's like greasing the wheel. So he's like, it's not even behind closed doors, man. This shit is like out in public. That's the thing that really blows my mind, is the audacity of it. I thought the first time dude held the presidency and he was like making all the events take place at his hotels and golf courses and shit like that, and overcharging and all that shit like that was a grift, man. They came in the game more prepared. He got more organized players and judges and a bunch of lawyers around him and just ass sniffers and yes men. So who's gonna tell him no? And even if somebody does tell him no, all he's gonna do is just appeal that shit to the higher courts, where the right wing or the Republican appointed judges are, and 9 times out of 10, that shit's gonna fly. I mean, this is from the Supreme Court on down. This is state appeals courts and all that shit.
Yeah, man. Jim said the only thing that might be able to stop them is their greed and undermining each other. Well, Trump ego, if he feel like Elon is getting too much burn, that shit is gonna go real bad. What do you suggest the next steps for Black people should be besides financial withdrawal from these corporations? So, Shannon, this is my personal assessment, and I look forward to hearing everybody else's personal assessment, especially Jim. Me and Jim talk about this type of stuff all the time. Black people need to start spending with each other. Black people need to start supporting Black mom and pop stores. Start supporting Black mom and pops that are like on Amazon and stuff like that. Like, start actively seeking out Black companies to spend your money with. And also protect your mental health. A lot of this ain't our fight, y'all. I'm gonna be straight up. Protect your mental health. Don't let other people get you riled up with what they dealing with because they wanted to vote for an idiot. One thing we know is Black people done been through a lot. We done made it through a lot of presidents. We done made it through a lot of segregation. We as a people done made it through a lot. So we know we're gonna make it through this. So don't let yourself be in this alarming state for 4 years, because it's not good for our hearts. It's not good for our blood pressure. It's not good for our health. So my biggest thing is get you a therapist. Take care of your mental health, and then take care of your economics by trying to spend with each other. Because I think we have a chance. I thought about this today. We have a chance to be together like we were doing segregation. We were together doing segregation because we didn't have a choice. We had to help each other. We had to deal with each other. And I think we're going to be in a place now where we're going to get there. Jim, we need to build our own Black economic networks and get unified politically. Period, Jim. Period. And what that looks like, I think it's going to take a lot of conversations. I think it's going to take a lot of think tanks, Jim. I think it's going to take a lot of work, community work, and community building to figure out what we need. I'm minding my Black business for the next 4 years. That's right, Shannon. You and your 92%, mind your business. Y'all did a lot of the heavy lifting. Jasmine Crockett 2028. Jasmine too raw. I would love Jasmine, but the problem is, and I did see somebody say this, and I agree with them. The Democrats like the Nancy Pelosi's, right? Like the older Democrats, they are not really progressive. They are not truly trying to be progressive. The older Democrats are about the status quo of the two-party system. But the Jasmine Crocketts of the world who want to burn it down, they're not gonna let it run the way, you know, they need to. Time for the next Black Wall Street. It's time to build our own. Theo said exactly. Cory Booker may be the best case scenario, just because you know what, Ron, and I get what you're saying, because he's just moderate and vanilla enough to get the progressives and those moderates to back him. But I don't think, and I say this all the time, y'all can go back to any uncouth show all the way back. I say this all the time: the American president has to have charisma. The American president has to be, whoever it is, has to be charismatic. And I don't know if Cory Booker is charismatic enough. Who I do know got the charisma, but you would have to put him with somebody who's super moderate because he's a little too far left. It's Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom looks like an American president. He talks like an American president, and he has that charisma. He has that Barack Obama charisma. Him and Josh Shapiro has that charisma.
The problem is, it's like everything that's been going on in California and just the negative backlash that he's been receiving, they're gonna blow that shit up. They're gonna try and dwarf the next Democratic person.
Whoever the next Democratic person is, though, listen, they have to truly be progressive. Gavin is gonna lose points from as far. Well, that's 4 years from now. This country got a short memory, Ron. This country got a short. That is, I don't think that's going to affect him in 4 years. Jim said Gavin is straight from Central. He really is. If you wanted to cast the perfect politician, it's Gavin. You know what I'm saying? Newsom, punk Trump. Yeah, and a lot of Democrats going to remember that too, Donald. And they're going to bring that up. But I think the fire issue, I don't get why he would lose points, because the fire ain't his fault. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get why that. But again, like I said, I don't think it's gonna hurt him as much as people think it is in 4 years.
There is someone that I'm gonna put on your radar. He's very young now, but I think that he is the future. His name is Richie Torres, and he's a senator in the Bronx. Watch any of his speeches or whatnot, Dane. Richie Torres, Ritchie, Torres.
Torres.
Yep. He has the it factor.
Reggie Torres, I'll check him out. Ron said Richie Torres. Torres.
Yeah.
All right. Like I stated in the group, this is our best opportunity to hold our vote for what we want. I agree, Ron. Depends on how well California survived these Trump years. I agree. Okay, Richie Torres. All right. Jim said the mayor of Seattle as well. I'm gonna check all these people out. Thank y'all for these, the insight, man. So Richie Torres, the mayor of Seattle, and like I said, Shapiro from Michigan, who I thought she should have made her vice president. We need a reparations bill, the George Floyd Act passed, and a lot to protect us from each other. And we got to get our civil rights back. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get the damn civil rights back, bro. So those are the people. And again, like I said, these are the discussions I want to have, right? Like, I don't want to continuously have discussions about Donald Trump and what he's doing. No, I want us to have discussions about what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? And how we protect our mental health and how we keep ourselves grounded during these 4 years. Because even if it gets turbulent, like I said, I already caught a stray from this administration, but we gonna make it through. We're gonna be all right, and we got to remember that. Because it's going to get sticky for a lot of other people. I hate to put it like this, but we used to being treated like niggas, and everybody else about to start getting treated like niggas, and that's why they're going to get crazy. This is going to be the first time the rest of the country is about to start getting treated like niggas. And I think that's when people are going to go crazy. And of course, they're going to do what? They're going to come run to us. What do we do? No. It's above me now. This is what y'all wanted.
Y'all want to be a nigga so bad? Here,
this is what y'all wanted. You know what I mean? So, again, don't be trying to jump in other people's fights, man. Just stay fight. Let them have it.
Yeah.
Let them have the country that they voted for. and then we'll regroup and do what we do. Jim said, whatever we do, we got to do in silence because any open plans, they're going to attack that. 100%, 100%, Jim. We're gonna have to go underground, but like I said, we have to connect, even if we have to cut off the TV, radio, computers, phones, do whatever you got to do to keep your sanity in peace. Hey, for real, Steph, I unfollowed a lot of these news stations. I follow a lot of these news commentators. I follow, like, my Instagram has now turned into me reposting jams. I'm just posting good music to help people feel better throughout the day. Then I try to give you a little bit of news, but it ain't nowhere near heavy as it used to be because you know why? We have to protect our sanity.
Hey, like Kendrick said, TV off. I just got an alert. Reportedly, the NFL won't stop Kendrick from performing Not Like Us.
Oh,
Donald Brown said, tell him, learn how to cope with it. Hey, I'm just saying, like, I'm telling everybody, pull up your bootstraps, right? Everybody pull up your bootstraps. Lace them up. But, like, we have to, again, I think this is a good chance for us to come together. This is a good chance for us to come together and really push against the status quo because what we do know, they can't win without our 92%. And they can't win without 90% black people voting for them. They can't. They're not going to win. And they got to chip away and get back some of that. I know it wasn't much, but black men went from 14 to 18% for Trump or something like that. They're going to have to chip away and get that back. You're going to have to get that back. Yeah, I have to get out the rabbit hole when FAFO find out when I get on. Yeah, man, Willie, I try not to, like there's certain things that I just don't need that in my spirit right now. You know what I mean? Like I don't need that in my spirit. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna watch this show. I'm gonna come back to it a little later. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I don't need that in my spirit. So I'm saying that because I want y'all to know how important that is. I want y'all to know how important protecting our peace is in this moment. Stephanie said, though it may be hard to do, we really got to know who we are gathering with. We have to trust each other and watch out for each other to keep people from infiltrating. It's a lot to ask, Steph, but it's gonna have to happen, right? We have to make it happen. I agree. We got to make it happen, but this is the time because I think, even though I think we would have been better off if Kamala would have won, I think Kamala not winning has given us an opportunity to really step back and take a look at things, especially with the Democrats and how they blew this, especially with the Democrats and how they handed this election over to Donald Trump.
Well, there's definitely going to be a turnover on the Democrats. All that nice way of doing shit, yeah.
No, they got to get out of here. Auntie Maddie, that's my auntie. That's why I call her Auntie Maddie. Auntie Maddie said, "Do things." That's Rex grandma, y'all. Do things. You better stop cussing, Rex. Do things the way we did in the '60s. Don't let your right hand know what your right hand is doing. That's true. Shannon said, "All skin folk ain't kin folk. Some people will have to leave behind." 100%.
Yep.
Like I said, Harry would have shot a lot of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Harriet Tubman would have been out of bullets. You know? But yeah, so like you said, Mars, like we have to come together because I think this is a prime opportunity for us to start building with each other, for us to start building that trust back with each other, and for us to really hold the Democrats to a different standard. Like the Nancy Pelosi's, they gotta go. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's, that regime, because they're not ever going to be really progressive. They're only about making sure things stay regular enough. But the Jasmine Crockett's and those, like, they have to rise. The ones who are actually progressive, trying to make progressive moves. But, and I know the people might come after me for this, they got to stop going so hard for the LGBTQIA community. And I'm like,
no. Stripped everything from the niggas.
No, here's the thing. Hakeem Jeffries and this had a meeting, an internal meeting with the Democratic parties, and literally stripped down everything. He basically told them we have to stop chasing every single crazy squirrel, and they need to just focus on 4 or 5 things for the next 2 to 3 years. Simplify everything so that it literally speaks volumes.
Well, more than anything, I just thought they put way too much emphasis on the LGBTQ in its election when that's not one of the biggest voting blocks.
I agree with you.
Like the trans like you was going harder after the trans than you were after the black vote.
Mhm.
When black vote is a much bigger block than the trans block. So y'all come for me if y'all want, but I'm talking from a strategic level, a strategic plan. And I'm gonna tell you why it was bad for them to strategically go that hard for the LGBTQIA community. Because that's the one thing that your everyday niggas, Hicks, Klansmen, that's the one thing they all gonna agree on. Is we don't like that shit. And that's what Trump bet on. Because what people don't know is Trump spent more money on anti-trans ads than he did on anything else.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, he's making a mistake. He knew something. He knew this is the one place that everybody's going to have common ground, because to a certain extent, I do feel like the Democrats was going a little too far with some of their policies in regards to that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So they have to do a better job of targeting the actual voting blocks, because I think they was
There
going
was
too hard
way
trying to get
more
moderate
important
Republicans
stuff than
too.
that.
Remember, they was like trying to get the Liz Cheney Republicans too hard. Like, we don't rock with Dick Cheney and his daughter. Like, what are y'all doing? Because she had Liz Cheney showing up at almost all her speeches. Like, y'all trying to get moderate Republicans, you're gonna lose your progressives, your true progressives. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Like, Jim said they got baited by the Republicans to go and support the transgender by Trump attacks. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Like, and it worked like a charm. Because I remember they were like, he's spending more money on his transgender attack ads than anything else, even the border at the time. And everybody like, he's making a mistake. I said, no, he sees that this is the one thing he can get a bunch of people to rally around, that they'll all agree on when they feel like the country went too far when it comes to this. So that's something they're gonna have to look at. And again, trying to go so hard for, like, look, y'all have not won white Republicans since, y'all want to guess what year was the last year white people voted more Democrat than Republican? Can y'all take a wild guess what was the last year white people voted more for Democrats than Republicans?
Was it in the 90s?
I would say never, but apparently it's happened. If you're posing the question,
I'd say
1965. What happened that year?
civil rights.
There you go.
That was a civil rights movement, wasn't it?
There you go. There you go.
That's fucking insane, bro.
There you go. There you go, Shannon. 1965. That was the last year that white people voted more Democrat than Republican, because a lot of those Democrats, just, you know, I don't want to get all the way into it, but y'all can look it up. After the civil rights movement, a lot of those Democrats turned into Dixiecrats, like the Ronald Reagans of the party, because Ronald Reagan was a Democrat.
Mhm.
So Ronald Reagan and all the Dixiecrats, that party turned into Republicans, the Republicans we know now.
Right.
Were kind of formed based off of that being passed.
Huh.
Yeah. So stop trying to go after the Republicans. You ain't gonna get them. Stop trying to go after that male white vote. You're not gonna get it. But you can make everything else up on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tough road to hoe, man.
I'm gonna have to jump.
Well, we all gonna jet out. Yeah, I said we gonna all jet out. Rob, I think it was a good show. I think that's kind of a good place to end it. What you was about to say, V-Ray, though, before we get out of here?
I was just gonna say that's gonna be a tough road to hoe. Plus, you know, they're trying to propose legislation for a third term for Donald Trump as well. So
yeah,
getting him the fuck out of there is gonna be even
Easier said than
harder
done.
than typical than just votes by trying to unfuck all the stuff that's gonna happen for the next 4 years. Legislatively, that would help cement something like that. They got the House and the Congress and the House, and they got the Supreme Court. So anything could. I wouldn't be surprised if this motherfucker just they changed the shit to he has to die to get out of office,
Right.
like other dictatorships. I'm not even joking.
I know,
But,
I know,
yeah.
because he always has said, you know, he always said he has to be a dictator.
And he also said, slipped up and said a few times in his speeches that this will be the last time they have to worry about trying to elect.
Trying to vote. Yeah.
So
This is crazy.
All right. Steph said after all that heavy stuff, hold on, let me read this. Donald said the next Democrat run better make sure fake ass Democrats like Joe Manchin and Rick Caruso don't have a chance to sabotage. Exactly. They got to look at all that.
yeah.
All right. Steph said after all that heavy stuff, I need a super group.
Oh,
I see.
I
Let's
got it.
talk assassins now. I'm just kidding. Get us off cast and shit.
My super group.
I got a different kind of super group for tonight. Besides Kendrick Lamar, because we talked about this, who are the 4 people you would like to see show up with him at the Super Bowl?
ooh,
Right?
ooh.
J-Rock, Absol, Schoolboy Q, and Tyler the Creator.
Hey, Schoolboy Q dead?
No.
I thought
Damn,
he
why
died.
you saying that? No.
Oh, well, I guess
That
it's
nigga's
cool
not
if he would
dead.
show up. It would be dope if he showed up if he was dead, but it'll be still cool.
Like, oh, nigga, you amazing.
That would be some Super Bowl shit. A dead motherfucker show up. But I digress.
Nigga.
Sorry
All right,
about that.
what about
Rob. I
you,
thought he was
Rex?
dead for real.
Who you want to see show up with him, Rex?
I mean that's the most TDE thing that Mars
I
said.
knew Rob was gonna go for a TDE.
I mean if to be honest with you, damn, honorable mention SZA if she was there.
She's there.
She's there. She already been announced.
Okay. Well, he basically named the whole TDE. I would say just like outside of the TDE, if there was 2, I'm just saying hypothetically speaking. I ain't saying it, I'm saying. If he got Wayne there, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Of course, Tyler.
Too.
Oh,
Willie want a full-on funeral.
Yeah.
You talking about the clips? He don't want everybody to come murder Drake. Like, all the white people gonna be like, "What's going on?"
Right.
What is this? Yeah, man. Pusha T. Who else? Shit. I'll probably have to say fucking Pharrell, maybe.
Yeah, you want a funeral too.
What about you, V-Ray? Who would you like to see show up with him at the Super Bowl?
That's a tough one, man. I mean, SZA's already announced. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the West Coast icons show up, like a Dre or fuck Snoop, but Dre and maybe 40 Water, or you know what I'm saying, some of the or Too Short or somebody that kind of bridges the old and new kind of shit keeps the West Coast. But I don't know. I mean, I really would have to think about that because I don't know that there's a lot of people in the stratosphere. But from a good performance standpoint, you know what I'm saying? I hope he has a live band like Thundercat. Was that dude's name? The producer?
Yeah.
That produced some of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of the people that have that he's worked with. So I don't know. That's I have to
Man. V-Ray, you want there to be peace. You want him and Drake to make up so they can.
No, I just like a good show, man. I don't give a shit. Drake can bring his whole ass.
Hey,
in
if
there.
he
he's gonna perform right,
that's
him and his
crazy.
lawyer be his hype man or whatever. But
The lawyer gonna be on the side of the stage holding the paper up to the
no, writing everything down and shit. Like he glanced at it wrong.
He said, "Don't fuss at me, but I would like to see Jadakiss, Doechii, DJ Quick, and Kendrick pull off something together. I would love to see Doechii. That would be dope. I don't know about Jada at the Super Bowl. I don't know about that.
That ain't his caliber.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That ain't his caliber.
Shannon said the choir because white people love a choir. I was just thinking about white people love a choir, dog. I don't know what it is about a choir, but white people love them a choir. All right, so this is who I'm gonna say. I know she's been announced already, but I want to see SZA up there with him. I want to see Lil Wayne. I do want to see Andre 3000 because I know that's one of his biggest influences. who else do I want to see with him? Maybe some of the TDE guys. You know, a little bit of TDE love, which I'm sure he's going to give out. And then I do think you need a West Coast icon. Like, I don't know who it would be.
Probably
One,
Dre.
yeah, like one West Coast icon to come out with him.
He's the icon.
And a choir. Oh, but you know what would be dope? Is if he did the record. She's been there so many times, so it wouldn't have the same effect. But the record him and Beyonce got together is hard. Like,
Oh yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah. Oh
if
yeah.
he came out and they did Freedom together, that would be hard.
That'd be hard.
Yeah. That would be a nasty flex.
Oh yeah. Just to
No,
show
the
you
little-
that you can get the real black people to come out.
No, the
Yep.
Little Wayne, he ruined it with his ego and whining. I don't think so, Shannon. Like,
Hell
I was against his whining, but I also understood it.
No, I wasn't, because honestly, think about it. That's his hometown, you guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
come
I
on
understand
now.
it.
He passed it up, yes.
That's
But I
and
just-
Wayne is one of Kendrick's influences as well. That's why I don't think it's real beef there. And let me tell you why.
Mhm.
Talking about petty, Shannon. Wayne and Drake is supposed to be boys. That's another reason I would bring Wayne up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to poke at Drake again. You know what I'm saying? So that's my force. So that's the super group. Thank everybody for joining. Damn, this was a good show.
Yep.
What I tell you before the show started, Mars, I said every time we said we're gonna do a quickie,
Yeah,
everybody,
it
that's
ended
the
up being
night
real
everybody
good.
pop on.
Yeah,
man.
everybody on. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the night
yeah.
everybody pop on, and that's what happened.
night,
And I
good night.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate everybody there. Now the way Wayne talked about black women with 50 Cent, let him not be here. Oh, I think I missed that.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
I think I missed that.
Mhm.
But hey, yo, thank everybody for jumping on. Jim, man, it's good to see you. You're gonna have to hop on with us one of these shows too, Jim. Co-host with us, and I want you to hop on when I do my sports show too. But we'll talk. But yeah, thank everybody. My co-host Rex, V-Ray, Mars, keeping it moving. I know Mars is on New York time, so it's almost midnight for that guy. He's about to turn into a gremlin. He got 3 minutes. We got to get off 3 minutes before he turns into a gremlin. But yeah, thank everybody for watching the show, man. We appreciate it. Wild Thoughts. Make sure y'all go follow Wild Bunch on all our social media, right? It's at Wild Bunch, WYLDEBUNCH. We got some good things coming up. As soon as I get off this
Yo,
podcast,
I got
a couple calls to make. Go ahead, Mark.
I got a question for you. I love the intro song. I especially love the way Demont sounds. Is that song available?
Yeah.
Not yet. That's gonna be on the new album. It's not available yet.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was.
Yeah, but it's gonna be on a new album. That's the title song, "Stop the World," for my new album coming called "Stop the World." So it's not
Okay.
available yet. So y'all only get to hear it when y'all watch Wild Thoughts as the intro. That's why I did
know
it like
what's
that.
going on. Oh, okay. I got it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this album, this project. So y'all just stick with us. Y'all gonna start seeing, but make sure y'all follow us on all social media because y'all know how the algorithm don't be showing y'all stuff. So I want y'all to, if you miss it on Facebook, you won't miss it on Instagram. If you miss it on Instagram, you won't miss it on TikTok. Like, follow us on everything. All right. Until next time, this has been Wild Thoughts. We will see you guys next
Stop the world, let me off. I don't like this destination. I like a transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide to the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. Stop the world.
A music podcast for the culture. Wild Thoughts.
Just go to the